We now come to our next section of the chapter alcohols, phenols and ethers. Before I go further, let us recall what ethers are. The general formula is of course ROR, right, where ROR dash actually, where R and R dash are same or different alkyl groups. For example, this is dimethyl ether, right? This is one R, this is another R group. We have an oxygen over here. Their bond length is 144 pm and the bond angle is around 111.7 degrees, and this is how a typical dimethyl ethers look like, right? We will read about their preparation, their physical properties, chemical properties and so on. First and foremost, let us have a look at how ethers are prepared. So, Williamson synthesis is a very popular, mode of preparation of ethers. Of course, as the name suggests, it was, suggested by a scientist named Williamson in 1850. And this reaction is an important laboratory method for preparation of ethers. It takes around 1 to 8 hours. And, what happens is, an alkoxide ion is treated with an alkyl halide, and we get ethers and sodium halides as the final product of the reaction, right? Since alkoxide ions are highly, reactive, as you can have a look at this ion, so these are prepared just before performing Williamson synthesis. Let us have a look at mechanism of this reaction. So this is an alkoxide ion, right? Oxygen has 2 lone pair of electrons. What it does is, it uses this lone pair of electrons to make a bond with methane, this methyl over here. And what do we get? CH3O and this tertiary halide and sodium bromide. And this is nothing but our ether. Simple reaction, right? Basically, this oxygen lone pair of electrons on oxygen makes it react with the methyl over here, and bromide gets a negative charge because this bond breaks, and it attracts the positive sodium ion, right? Another method of preparation of ethers is the dehydration of alcohols. So, alcohols, when in presence of sulfuric acid, see, slightly different temperature completes totally the reaction. At a higher temperature of 443 K, same reaction conditions, we get ethene, whereas at a slightly lower temperature we get ethers, right? Let us have a look at the mechanism of this reaction. So we have alcohol over here. Again, lone pair on oxygen is something which dominates most of the organic chemistry. So this hydrogen ion comes from the sulfuric acid used as a medium of the reaction. It gets attracted to alcohol, and this is what we get, right? CH3, CH2, and protonation of alcohol happens basically. When any molecule gets bonded to a hydrogen positive ion, it's called protonation of the alcohol. In step 2, what happens? We had this alcohol, right? The original reactant and the protonated alcohol. Right? So what happens is, this water molecule goes off, this bond breaks, right? And that is why it's called dehydration of alcohols. And the oxygen over here forms a bond with this ethyl group over here, and we get nothing but the ethers, right? So this is our step 3. These are the only 2 methods of preparation of ethers in the scope of our syllabus. Now that we are done with this, we will move to physical properties and then chemical reactions of ethers. Thank you, friends. Let us now have a quick look at two important physical properties of ethers. First one is boiling point. So friends, we are aware of the structure of ether. We have RO, R dash, where R is one alkyl group, R dash can be another alkyl group. Both can be similar or dissimilar, and this is our oxygen. Now we know that ethers are polar molecules, and why is that? See, this oxygen over here has two extra lone pair of electrons. Because of this, there is a negative charge over here and positive charge on the alkyl group, and hence the polarity or dipole moment. You know dipole moment, right? Whenever there is a positive negative charge differentiation on a molecule, a dipole moment is associated with it. Now, though ethers are polar molecules, but they are actually called almost non-polar. They are very, very slightly polar. Reason being that the dipole moment over here and dipole moment over here almost cancels the total polarity. It's just this V shape which gives little bit polarity to ethers. Now, if we look at, since we are in the chapters alcohols and ethers, so if we compare, the boiling point of ethers is almost comparable to alkanes, right? There is not much difference between the boiling point of corresponding alkane and the ether, and very low than alcohols. Why so? See, boiling point is determined by, first and foremost, the van der Waals forces, the dispersion forces, the forces of attraction between any molecule. So, ethers have that, alkanes have that, right? The polarity of ethers is so less that it does not affect their boiling point, and hence there is nothing additional in ethers which alkanes don't have, right? No additional strong force in ethers. Hence, boiling point of both alkanes and ethers is the same. Alcohols have very strong OH bond. You remember alcohols, right? Their functional group is OH. So, alcohol general formula is ROH. It has alkyl group on one side and H, hydrogen, on the other side. It is this hydrogen bonded to oxygen which makes, the boiling point of alcohols much higher as compared to ethers. So, hydrogen bonding in alcohols make them having a higher boiling point. As I said, ethers are very slightly polar and hence their boiling point is comparable to the alkanes. Let us, have a look at this question.